Well, good afternoon. It's a good day, right?
Great day.
Well, first of all, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that was involved. There was so many people from the SID to the department workers to the community. This park exists because of all of us working together. We had pushbacks when we started the conversation with this park, but now you can see how beautiful, and I believe we made the right decision. You know, and also, I don't want to hold you long because, you know, we got a meeting and I know there's more stuff to be done here, but I want to take this opportunity to thank ALVIN. And the reason why I want to thank ALVIN, because when you know the history of the Bethune Center and ALVIN coming and trying to do the best that he can to make it like an art center, I wanted to give ALVIN a plaque today, because anytime we call on ALVIN, to be perfectly honest, ALVIN is always there to put his hand to the plow and to do whatever we ask him. So ALVIN, I just want you to know that I truly appreciate all that you do. Yeah, he didn't know it. Nobody knew it. Because sometimes I call him in last minute, and he always try to accommodate me. And since we are honoring the Bethune Center, and because as of this time, he is the director of the Bethune Center, okay? And so I want him to know that I truly appreciate you. And it says, is an appreciation award to present ALVIN Pettis in sincere appreciation for your outstanding service to the McLeod Bethune Center, City of Jersey City. Thank you for everything. Council President Joyce Wonder. I read it fast, but I'm trying to get out the way because there's a lot to do. This is what happened when we really work together. So this is a beautiful park. I believe the community will enjoy it, and I believe we really did the right thing. I gotta say that because only God knows how much pushback we got with this park, and when I see it today, this is one of the best decisions I have ever made as being a council person, and I'm glad I did it, and community enjoy it. Michelle, continue to do the programming like you do. Make sure everyone up here enjoy this park, because you know the pushback we had, but we see it come alive today, and I want to thank you for hanging in there. I do. I want to thank you for hanging in there. JERMAINE, I want to thank you for hanging in there, all the community meetings we had, and because all of us sticking together with one mind, this is the result of it. So thank you, and God bless.
I want to invite up next the councilman for this area, JERMAINE Robinson. You know, leadership is not an easy thing to do, and it's a tough attribute to demonstrate, and this would not be possible without JERMAINE Robinson. It is hard sometimes to make decisions that seem unpopular when you have a vocal minority that is the loudest, but to say that that's not necessarily the will of the broader people that live in an area. And that was really the narrative here with this park. There was a loud group, but JERMAINE said that that isn't necessarily what everybody feels, that he felt that majority of people would prefer to see an open space here and a recreation space. And his leadership was pivotal here. This wouldn't happen without him, and he doesn't tout his accomplishments enough. And so I wanted to give him the opportunity to speak early here. Councilman JERMAINE Robinson.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Council President. This is long overdue. As we know, we had Fulton Avenue Park next door across the street that sat for decades, unattended, unoccupied, and basically no one had given any love to this part of the city, especially when it comes to parks. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who had a part in this. When I look around today, I see a lot of friendly faces. I don't see anyone who really had some opposition towards this. Even though they may be here, I think it was not against the park. It was more just speaking their mind on what they wanted to see in the community. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, because as I look around, I see a lot of people who spent a lot of hours and a lot of time making this park here reality. The mayor said it was a few people that stood up and talked out against what was going on here. But when I look around today and I count the many faces and the many fans that's here to witness the opening of this new park. I just want to say that it's a proud moment for myself. It's really hard, and things in government takes time. Yesterday we did a groundbreaking for the new firehouse, which we worked on for about 2 years. This project has probably been going on for about 3 years. And I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who came out and everyone who played a part. It's too many to name. If I start naming, I think I would be, in trouble because I'm sure I would miss a few. But the Parks Coalition, all the way down to the Bethune Center directors and staff. So thank you guys. We appreciate it. And I hope you, the city, get to enjoy this park as much as we had pleasure of making sure it got completed. Thanks.
The next speaker is going to be a councilwoman who's involved in open space. But before we hand it over to her, I did want to echo Councilman Robinson's comments around investment on the south side of the city. Change takes time, and we've made a concerted effort to invest the most amount of money of any ward coming to the south side of the city. You could look at our budget, and that speaks to it. If you think about the $200 million that we're moving on the new municipal complex at MLK, if you think about our partnerships at Berry Lane Park, it's the largest park in Jersey City. If you think about yesterday breaking ground on the first firehouse in 20 years in Jersey City, that's happening all in Ward F. People forget that for decades upon decades, there was no investment in Ward F. There was nothing happening. There was only investment downtown. And we've been able to change that paradigm for the first time, actually attracting private investment and public investment to areas like this. And it really is Jermaine's leadership, but with a lot of partners. What Joyce said earlier is also true and a testament to the work that Jermaine and Joyce and the team has done with regard to the Bethune Center, and ALVIN deserves a lot of that credit. 8 years ago, the Bethune Center was a very, very different place. It was a party rental hall for all extensive purposes. And we made a deliberate effort to change that, to say that this should be a community center that is active all the time with programming that everybody can enjoy. And we hired ALVIN with that single mission. And there were some tough conversations that ALVIN had to have because people were comfortable with what they knew over there. And ALVIN had a vision of changing that. And if you fast forward to what it is today, it really is a vital backbone to this part of Jersey City with programming that touches every part of the community. And ALVIN is at the leadership part of that. When we decided to do this park, part of the reason that we felt so confident about investing in it was really that we knew across the street you had a director that was committed to programming in the city. And that's the reason that you see this park is able to really amplify programming from a stage and public events, build off what you have going on with seniors in the Bethune Center, and also have a place for young people to play and create that all on a major corridor so that it's a safe environment. This wouldn't happen without the people you have up there. So I just want to say again, thank you, ALVIN, and thank you, Jermaine and Joyce, for your leadership on this. You all deserve a tremendous amount of credit in making this a reality. There's a couple other organizations that were really crucial in putting the funding on this. This was $3.5 million to build this park. It's not a small investment. And there are a lot of places that the city could invest dollars, but we choose to invest it here because we know that places like this will change a community for the better. Part of the dollars came from the Open Space Trust Fund, which is something that we enacted a couple years ago to allow more parks to be developed in Jersey City. It was something that this council did, and it's been crucial in creating acres upon acres of new and improved open space in Jersey City. MIRA is the council person who represents Ward B on the west side of Jersey City. She was the one who is the point person for the Open Space Trust Fund. I want to turn it over to MIRA to say a couple words.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. This park and this multi-use space is testament to the original goals and intent of the Open Space Trust Fund. When working as a board member of the Parks Coalition before I was on council, pushed to move this forward. It was a way to spend our dollars, small tax, small amount of money that's shared collectively across all citizens of Jersey City to create equitable open space for all. And this space is, I'm so impressed with this. You have multi-use, you have shaded space, which you don't always see in parks. You have the opportunity to bring programming here. We're going to listen to Bernard Harper and his band in a minute, which is going to be fantastic. And to just be able to celebrate true democratic space for everyone. We've been able to work on over approximately 24 parks with the Open Space Trust Fund to make really important infrastructure and upgrades. You saw it in Audubon Park. We'll be seeing it at LaPointe Park. We've been seeing it at Boyd McGuinness Park. I'm going to talk about B a little bit because that's what I'm so proud of. But we were able to do it across the entirety of the city and just not one pocket of it. So I look forward to seeing what the Trust Fund Committee is going to approve in future and to what the residents are going to proffer to us for things that they want to see, because this was truly community driven. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of this. This has been a long time coming. People say that things seem impossible until they are inevitable, and this is a true example of that. So to everyone involved, thank you for making this happen.
We have two more speakers here. I want to invite up Paula, who's the president of the Jersey City Parks Coalition. It is a group of volunteers that devote countless hours to making sure that we have the best open space anywhere in New Jersey. And, you know, we've been doing a lot of ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings because we've been able to invest a lot of dollars in meaningful parks, not only renovating parks, but doing like we did here, creating new open spaces that didn't exist before. So the future is bright and largely part to the Parks Coalition, and I'd like to invite up Paula to say a couple words.
Thank you, Mayor Philip. Thanks. I'm so excited to be here. It's been a very exciting time for the Parks Coalition. We've been attending a lot of these community meetings, meeting with the Open Space Committee on funding and working with the community on visioning. So to see something like this is just mind-blowing. I know I met Michelle like 2 years ago in her office, and she's bringing out all these designs and giving me the history about the neighborhood. And from there, we were able to take back and learn, like, how can we contribute as a group. So again, thank you very much. Our commitment is to work with the community and continue programming and outreach regarding park safety, natural environment, and active play. So thank you so much. Thanks.
Our last speaker in the program today is the director of the Bethune Center. We spoke a little bit about him, but I thought he could speak a little bit about what he envisions here and how it will connect to what they're doing across the street. And so without further ado, ALVIN PETTIT.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out. We have a wonderful turnout here. I'd like to start by just thanking Mayor Fulop, Joyce Waterman, Councilman Robinson here, because it was a collaborative vision. And what we have here is Michelle Massey, all the minds that came together to make this happen. And I also want to give a thanks to couple of guys that I worked most closely with throughout the whole ordeal. Paul Rousseau here of Traffic and Engineering, and Gus. And you know, we laughed, we argued, we fought. But in the end of the day, Gus came out to me yesterday. I told you to stop talking to the contractors. Don't talk to the contractors. It's been the whole ordeal the whole time. But in the end of the day, it all came together. Well, almost. We have one more ceremony for this park, and that's when the sculpture comes. And I will keep everybody posted as soon as the bronzing factory lets me know something. And that'll be the final piece here. But I also want to give...
What is the sculpture? You want to tell
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The sculpture is of Mary McLeod Bethune. If you walk up to the pedestal where it's going to be mounted to, we can see a version of the you can see the pictures up there. They give you the coming soon attraction and tell you a little bit of history and my concept behind the sculpture. And it's really, even before the park, it was something that was long overdue here for the center because we needed something to represent her visually since this is her namesake. And also with that said, I'd like to just take a moment to thank a couple of people that worked in the background that helped bring this to fruition. Nakia Wiggins, she works on our staff here at the Bethune Center for the last several years. And I want to say, as the mayor and JERMAINE were talking about some of the struggles and some of the voices that had to be combated early on in this process, the naysayers, Nakia, who was born, bred, and raised here in Jersey City in this area, she used her knowledge of the area to foot canvas, take the petition around, give people the correct information on the park, and get us hundreds of signatures to help move this process along. So just a special hand for her. Florence Holmes, who's been my assistant director since we started in 2013. I always got to find her. She's never here. Across the street, of course. She's across the street. I don't feel like running to get her right now, but it's just, yeah, she should be over here. But anyway, Florence is holding, you know, while I'm off sometimes working on the Bethune sculpture, she's holding down the fort every day, making sure that the center is still being run and functioning properly to I can get back and everything like that. So she's like been a right hand since 2013. And like the mayor was saying, as far as this park goes, this is an extension of what we do inside. Now it's brought outdoors. For those of you that may have been here in Jersey City for a while, there was always supposed to be a second half. If those of you the original blueprints to the Bethune Center, it was never seen for fruition back in 2001 for various reasons. But now this kind of brings the Bethune Center project full circle. And now it's almost been completed in a different way, but in some ways a much better way. So that's the best I can say about it. I'm glad you're all here. This warms my heart when people use the center and people come to me and say, we love what you all do here. When is this coming back? When are you going to do that? It shows that we're making a difference. Thank you all for coming out.